are starting five. Holiday treats. I love it.
Yes.
We're getting in the mood. We're
Yes.
getting yeah, it's great. I'm gonna let you go first. Are we going point guard to center? What order are we going? How do you want to do
Yeah,
this?
yeah, let's go traditional 1 through 5 here.
You're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
start
you're
with
not gonna adjust it based on like popularity. Like maybe your center is the superstar. Maybe your
ooh.
center's the
You know what? That's
superstar of
a
your team, so you'll wait and do it last. We just go. Maybe we'll play around with the format in later weeks, but
yeah,
and
yeah.
just pick our own. But get the what's the Bulls music? The Alan Partridge Project or
Yeah,
something.
Alan Parsons. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cue up
Let's
the Alan
go.
Parsons Project. Who's your
Or
starting point guard, Keenan?
coming in at the 1, out of the oven, we got
Ooh, enough.
cornflake wreaths. Are you familiar with
I've
these?
I've never had a cornflake wreath. I've never seen a cornflake wreath.
So think Rice Krispie treats,
Mm-hmm.
but cornflakes, not Rice Krispies, although you could do it with Rice Krispies. Um, a little green dye, so they look like a wreath. You put them in a little circular thing, and then you stick a couple little like those little cinnamon
Okay.
candies, those little circular cinnamon candies, and it looks like a little holly. And then you got yourself a little wreath.
Nice. Why is it your
Um,
point guard? Why is it playing point?
why is it my point guard? Okay, so it's my point guard because if I'm coming to your holiday dessert table, it's what I'm picking up first.
Okay. Yeah.
It's reliable. I know what it's going to taste like. It's marshmallow and and cornflake. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know what that's going to taste like every time. Um, and it's just setting the table for my experience. So that's
Okay.
that's why
Okay.
I'm throwing it at the 1. It's
Nice.
also I think it sets the palate as well because
Mm-hmm.
it's not I'm not going to finish with it. Um, but in a pinch, if I'm like snacking in certain situations between a meal, something like that, or just grabbing a quick snack,
Yeah.
it it understands the tempo. It knows when to go try to get a bucket versus when to set everything up. So
Nice.
that's why I'm putting it at my 1. How about you? What's
Nice.
your point guard?
At point guard, out of Italy, the Pizzelle. Are you familiar with the
Pitzel, I
Pizzelle?
am. I am.
Pizzelle.
No,
It's for those who might not be, it's a traditional Italian waffle cookie. Very
yeah.
simple batter, flour, eggs, sugar, maybe a little vanilla, maybe a little spice, some sort of like spice in there, and then you press
Mhm.
it on a patterned special Pizzelle maker like a waffle iron. And it's the point guard because it sets the table for the rest of the treats.
Yeah.
Traditionally, my great grandmother and my grandmother on my dad's side would make these on Christmas Eve. We would help with them. They would have the batter. We would, pour a little spoonful into the waffle iron, press it down, burn our hands a
Nice.
few times, and then just have stacks and stacks of pizzelles through the night. So it was like, set the table. Christmas Eve snack too. We'd probably like
Hmm.
go home
Hmm.
with like a big Ziploc bag of them too, but also very simple. A simple flavor,
Yeah.
simple. It's a starter snack.
100%. Now let me ask you, um, is this a John Stockton point guard? Is this a Baron Davis point guard? AKA, are you dunking your Pitzel in anything ever?
No,
Or
I
are
don't.
you leaving it as a standalone?
I don't think I dunk my pizzelles. I don't think I ever did. I think it was a standalone. I think it was a boring. It's John Stockton. This is
Got
and
it. Got it.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm trying to think of some way of like it being a dirty player, but I don't know how to. It's
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a solid fundamental snack.
yeah.
Nothing too flashy, but it's going to get the job done.
Who's your two guard, Keenan?
Coming in at the 2, wearing stripes. I got the not the candy cane. We got the holiday Hershey Kiss.
Ooh, nice. I mean, that's his Christmas just from the commercial.
Yeah, I mean, number one, it's iconic. It's got the
Commercial
branding,
alone.
like your classic two guard. The oftentimes the face of the squad, but they're just there to get buckets.
It's ringing them bells.
It's ringing the bells. It's getting buckets every time. It can score in flurries because I can grab a handful of those
Oh yeah.
and it's gone.
The two
Like
guard from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
from Hershey, PA.
Here's
Yes.
a nice little fun fact about Hershey. My uncle Jerry used to be the photographer for print ads for Hershey's chocolate.
Hmm,
So they would send him a bunch of
interesting.
chocolate for him to, photograph in his studio, and then he would just have tons of just Hershey's Kisses and Reese's peanut butter. Like we would get so
Wow.
much free Hershey's chocolate from my Uncle Jerry.
Wow.
Shout
That's a
out
great
to
hookup.
shout out to Jerome Kalinowski.
Shout out Uncle Jerry.
Yeah. My two guard, very similar, Keenan. Are we're lined. We've had we had cereal, you had cereal, and I had pizzelles at our point guard.
That's true.
And
That's
just
true.
like you have at your point guard, Hershey's Kisses. I thought about this, and I almost picked Hershey's Kisses, but instead I went a slightly different direction, very similar.
Okay.
I want a little bowl of red and green M&Ms. I want the Christmas M&Ms. Like you
Oh,
said, they can
classic.
score in bunches. I want them sitting around the
Yeah.
house. You grab a little handful whenever you walk by. You're at a Christmas party. You put little bowls of red and green M&Ms in every room, and then just people are mingling, people are talking. Oh M&M. You grab a few M&Ms. They melt
Yeah.
in your mouth, not in your hand. Just
Not in your hand.
classic. You're scoring in bunches. A little mouthful of them at a time. Pop one at a time. They're
Yeah.
versatile. You know,
Yep.
chocolate, a
Yep.
nice chocolate snack to complement your pizzelle. You got a great backcourt there. You got a little
And
vanilla
yeah,
pizzelle with a little crunchy cookie, a little spice to it,
that's
and then you
great.
got the chocolate.
That's great.
Also, when I think of Christmas, the first thing you said when you were like holiday treats, I go simple.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
treats are simple to me.
We don't
And
need them to be crazy.
I
Yeah.
don't love M&Ms year round. If M&Ms are there, I'll eat them. I'll pick up some at a movie. If I, but I'll get popcorn and M&Ms, popcorn and Reese's Pieces, popcorn and
A little sweet and salty.
a raisinette. Love a raisinette,
Ooh.
but
Okay. Okay.
specifically red and green M&Ms at Christmas time. That's my two guard. Who's your small forward, Keenan?
At the three, holding it down on the wing, we got out of the Bay Area, we got the Ghirardelli Peppermint Bark. Yeah.
Woo!
I think it's versatile. Um, it's a strong player. Um, you can it can score if you need it to, but it can be a nice complementary piece. Like you can give me one piece of peppermint bark and I'm good. You can give me a handful of peppermint bark, I'll still eat it. I feel like it plays well. You get a little candy with the chocolate as well,
Mhm.
but neither's too overwhelming. Like they play well together. I think it's just a fundamental piece to keep your five together.
Nice.
Yeah.
We differed a little bit in types of snack.
Okay. Okay.
But my small forward is kind of a do it all. It holds the team together. It's gonna, it keeps the balance of a team. And I tip my hand a
Mhm.
little bit when I was talking about movie snacks, and I tip my hand when I say that I keep it simple. But popcorn reminds me of Christmas. Just a
Yeah.
nice,
You know what? I didn't
simple,
think about that.
plain, salty popcorn. It's gonna balance the sweet from other things. It's gonna give you a little pop. It's light. You can eat a bunch. It's gonna play both sides of the
Sure.
ball. You can eat it,
Sure.
or you can eat it
Sure.
early in the night. You can have it late in the night. It's not gonna
Sure.
sit too heavy in your stomach, but it's gonna provide much needed saltiness in a
You gotta
sea
you
of
gotta
sweet.
balance some of the sweet. Yeah,
And
that's
what's
very
better
true.
than a small forward to balance your lineup?
That's no, you're absolutely right. How do you feel about a kettle corn?
I love a kettle corn.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
also, I love all kind, popcorn tins. Talk Christmas,
Love them.
popcorn
Love them.
tin. I could have put popcorn tin. Ooh, I mean, I might make a little odd. Can I say popcorn
That
tin?
might be the one. I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
allow
just
it because I
said
think that's the right
popcorn.
move.
I did I
I think that's the
because
right move.
you get the salty butter, you get the caramel, you get the cheese.
Yeah,
Popcorn tins.
yeah. No, I
Specifically
think that's the right move.
especially for the holidays.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely the right move. I'm a little mad that I didn't get it myself.
Yeah. I
Yeah, yeah.
That's the small forward. Specific
Great
the
choice.
tin, that's definitely that's the LeBron James of small forwards.
I mean, you can't go wrong. It's going to complement everything,
Yeah.
and it can do it all by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You can't go wrong.
if you have a good quality popcorn tin, that satisfies every.
That's all you need. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that you're. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a popcorn tin purchase tomorrow, just from this conversation.
Now, are you gonna
Um,
go like high quality? Are you gonna go like gourmet, or are you just gonna go to CVS and pick one up?
I do get a little bougie with my popcorn, I'm not gonna lie. Just because there's a place in Philly and I feel so bad. I know where it is, but I'm blanking on the
I
name right now.
think I know what you might is it like kind of by Mitchell and Ness over there
Yep.
on yep,
Yep.
uh-huh.
Yeah. That oh man, their popcorn tins are incredible.
Nice. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
There's a
Yeah,
place in
I'm
the
gonna
Chicago airport. There's like a Chicago famous like popcorn place. It starts with a G, but whenever I'm there in O'Hare, I gotta
it's like
grab it.
Gerhardt's or
Maybe,
something
yeah,
like
it's right
that.
by the cannabis
Yeah.
amnesty box. It's right by the famous cannabis amnesty box, which is on my it's also on my starting five of holiday treats.
That's the true point guard. That
Yeah,
sets the table
that
for the
really
rest
sets
of
the
the
table
treats.
for everything. Yeah, just a nice gummy. Dang, I didn't think of that. I could have, but I didn't, and I'm not changing my mind now. Who's your power forward, Keenan?
The power forward. So I'm gonna give a tip of the cap to our name here, the stretch four. I'm envisioning a foreign stretch four in the Danilo Gallinari mold,
Okay.
you know, when I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna go with Hanukkah Gelt.
Oh,
Getting those little chocolate coins.
yeah.
Here's why. Here's why. If you're gonna use a modern power forward, you can base your team around that. Like you can pick like a Giannis and have that be, the focus of your offense. Or they can be more of a complementary piece.
Hmm.
They can be a Tobias Harris that fills in and kind of does a little bit of everything. Um, so I'm going to let you pick your poison, but I think the Hanukkah Gel can play both of those roles. Like that can be the focus of your holiday treats if you want, and I'm not mad at it at all. But if you want to just have that be a little sprinkle, a little accessory piece, something that you can count on, you can go to it every night. Especially if we're talking Hanukkah, we can get a little bag of Gelt all 8 nights, and then supplement that with everything else. But I think it's a good treat that I want in my rotation.
Okay. That's nice. I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
mm, I'm going back and forth on who my starting power forward's going to be. One is a relatively new treat that I
Ooh,
kind of discovered in the past year or two, and another one is just kind of like a classic. I'm gonna go with the classic. It's my power forward because it's kind of a it's a strong choice.
okay.
Emphasis on the power. It's something that we would have a lot for breakfast on Christmas. It's not a typical breakfast. It's
Okay.
usually more a
Okay.
treat, but specifically having it's like saying like Christmas is here and you get to have this special treat on Christmas Day. This isn't an everyday breakfast, but you're gonna have it on breakfast. And we would do it there's different versions of it, so I'm gonna kind of cheat and pick both, but it's either like a cinnamon sugar monkey pull apart monkey bread, or like a
Ooh.
cinnamon roll, like a cinnabon basically. So a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
cinnabon
yeah.
or like a pull apart monkey bread. What, like basically the same thing in two different forms, you know?
Sure,
So it's like
sure,
a power,
sure.
it's like it's syrupy, it's spicy,
Yeah.
it's heavy like a power
Mhm.
forward. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
thick.
yeah, uh-huh. And it's like it usually does one thing, but you're having it for breakfast. I don't know. I'm kind of
Yeah,
reaching for my power forward comparison, you know?
no, I like this
It's a
because
rebound from the night before. You know, you get drunk, you get drunk on Christmas, you're a little hungover, it's a good
yeah,
rebound, you know?
that's true. That's true. That's true. Um, I mean, it's versatile too because you can play it warm,
Mm-hmm.
or you can play it room temperature, even a little cold. It's still gonna play well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one, and it can be a meal in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like it can be the star. You can run the offense through
That
the
is true.
cinnamon bun
Yeah.
for
Uh-huh.
sure,
Good. Yeah.
for
Way
sure.
to help. Who's your big man, Keenan? Who's your center?
I mean, this may just be me, but it's a it, again a special version of a treat. Um, I associate it with Christmas, and I had to actually look this up to make sure that others associated with Christmas, and I was correct. It is sometimes referred to as Santa's favorite cookie. Um, it is the white chocolate covered Oreo
Oh, okay.
or white fudge covered Oreo.
Oh, and it
Um,
usually's got some of those little sprinkles on it too, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We get a little shine to it. But man, oh man, if I just need a simple snack, if I just need to get a bucket, I can dump it down to those every time
Yeah.
and trust that we're gonna get something productive. I mean, it's a great sweet and crunch. When you're
Yeah.
talking crystals, you can go sweet there and go like a little like crystallized sugar. But what I like to do is actually get a little sea salt there
Oh, yeah, that's
instead,
always nice.
and you get a little salty sweet. So you get a little offense defense there too. So a nice two-way trusty center, the
You're
white chocolate covered
protecting the
Oreo.
rim and your rim running center who's also protects the rim on the other end.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice. I went into Whole Foods last weekend, and Whole
Mm.
Foods had a sample display out of their Whole Foods brand Oreos, but the peppermint cream filled Whole Foods brand Oreos. I probably took 20 of them, as I did
Ooh.
multiple just laps around the store just grabbing tongfuls of cookies. I'm
That
a
sounds
little
fantastic, man.
I'm a little sample sneak. That's who I am when I'm in the store. Ooh, love going in the store and sneaking some samples when they have them. One of these days I'm gonna get kicked out. One of these days they're gonna be like, "That's enough for you, young man."
Listen, a wise
These
man
are samples for everyone, not a little meal for you.
a wise man once told me, "If it's free, I'll take 3." So, just if you're gonna put them out, keep them coming.
My center is also a cookie, Keenan. We're back. We're back in
Nice,
line.
nice.
And it is a very specific cookie that my mom would make every year on Christmas. It's not
Mm,
even like my favorite type of cookie, but it just says Christmas to me so much because it's the
yeah.
only time of the year she would make these cookies. She wouldn't make them any other time. It's a chocolate chip cookie that she would make, and she would use dark chocolate, but then the cookie itself, very little, very probably no brown sugar. It didn't have that, like,
Interesting.
it was almost like a hybrid biscuit slash cookie. It had more of
Yeah.
like a floury biscuit quality to the cookie itself. And it was just on Christmas. I love they were so good, like the dark chocolate, the like kind
Yeah.
of like biscuity, floury cookie. And then if you like warmed them up just like a little bit, they would get like,
Ooh,
the chocolate would like get like a little gooey in there with
yeah.
have
Uh-huh.
them with a cup of milk. It just says Christmas to me. It's like something my mom made. It like was like the she would make like multiple types of Christmas cookies, but that was like the bulk of it. Like that was the one she made the
Yeah,
most. I would take them to school, like as long as we still had them, and like my friends loved them. And like I remember my friends being like, "Yeah, these are like no other cookies I've ever had. Never had a
yeah.
cookie like this," and they love them. And I got to get that recipe. I'm sure my sister has that. I got to find that recipe for those. Like,
That sounds good. That
yeah.
sounds really tasty.
Hmm. And it's just like a weird,
Damn.
because like, if I want a chocolate chip cookie most of the year, I'm going for like like a sweet brown sugary, like
Yeah.
maybe a little sea
Yeah, yeah.
salt on it. And like these are just
Mhm.
like so different and like just a singular experience. And it like, it held the whole plate of cookies together.
Listen, you need that. And you need, like, something that's gonna give you a different look
Hmm.
just to keep the defense honest, Like, you don't wanna get predictable.
Yeah, exactly. Keenan, did you have a sixth man?
Man, I mean, it's hard for me not to look to the bench for popcorn because now that you
Oh
brought it
yeah.
up, man, like,
A
that's a
versatile.
the popcorn tin is, like,
Yeah.
'cause if you're coming off the bench, it just gives you whatever you need. You got options,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need much.
I've got a sixth man. And it is another thing that my mom would make every year, and it's that happy birthday Jesus cake.
That happy birthday, Jesus. The funfetti Jesus.
She'd make a birthday cake for Jesus every year. We'd break it out on Christmas
Nice.
night. It would usually be like a day ender, just a simple cake,
I like that. I
simple
like
homemade
that.
cake with a frosting, happy birthday Jesus.
I love that. What kind of frosting are we talking here?
I believe it would usually be like a chocolate cake white frosting, like a
Mm,
yeah.
okay, okay. I like that.
I think, or was it a
Supporting
white
a
or
Middle Eastern Jesus.
Or was it like a yeah? I think it was or maybe it was different. Maybe it would be like like a simple like white white cake. It was never like a huge cake because like December
Yeah,
we had my birthday's like a week before Christmas. So
yeah,
we just had like my birthday. We had like, hey, it would usually be just like a simple like box cake. She wouldn't go out to, either like a box cake or something she throws together, like nothing too wild, but
sure,
you
sure.
get that
But
happy
it's
birthday
listen,
Jesus cake to end the night.
it's key. It's key.
You
You
know,
gotta stay on theme.
the reason for the season.
The reason for the season. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh man. Now
That's
I'm
our starting
starving.
fives. The new. We're kicking it off every episode with starting fives.